My name is Watson.
And my name is Mariah.
We're 12 years old.
And we're representing Redford Academy Middle School. And we're here to talk about drugs. Drugs are very dangerous and unhealthy.
And they can also ruin a relationship with your loved ones. Go talk to a family member, a friend, even a teacher, or you can go to a therapist, or if you need any extra help, you can go online and find all of those.
Hashtag not worth it.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Expose Under the Sun. I'm Sharon Dumas. I'm your host today, and I have a fantastic guest with me today. I'm so excited to have her on board, and her name is Chief Suzanne Jarrett. Hi there.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you for coming to the show.
My pleasure.
Good. So, Suzanne, Chief.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about why I'm calling you Chief.
So I am the President and Chief of American Indian Nationals and an association and government for Native Americans. And so my tribe name is Chief Silent Storm.
And you are not a silent storm, but I hear that you're a storm too, but not a silent storm.
When need be.
Wow, that's fantastic. Tell us something else about what you do.
So with the organization with American Indian Nationals, it's very important for us to be engaged in the community. We support the leaders in the community with resources. We have health benefits and dental, vision, those types of things to sustain the community. And so our motto is to uplift humanity. And so that's a little bit about that. And we do have Detroit Connect Society, which is a business network for like-minded people. And we just are referral base, and we do trainings and events and that sort of thing. So,
okay. And where are you located?
Downtown at 220 West Congress, and it's in the VentureX building.
Wonderful. I know that you've assisted us many times with food boxes and different things. Tell me some of the organizations that you work with and the kind of things that you guys do.
Sure. So we've worked with your organization with your senior buildings. So that's Full and Fabulous. And we've supplied food, tablets, and recently we've been working with an organization that does diapers, and we do like the sanitation pads and stuff like that. So anyone in need, we try to make it a point to provide them with the resources we have.
Okay. You know, I've never met a chief before.
Okay.
So it is a pleasure to have you on board, as a matter of fact. And Suzanne is going to be our new co-host starting week after next. Darwin will be back next week, and then Suzanne will be here. So that's going to be very exciting for her to bring her resources to come on the show. And she has a special guest that will be flying in. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, and first and foremost, I'm extremely honored that you would think of me to be the host. That's pretty big shoes to fill. You do a lot in the community, and I just wanted you to know that I appreciate you and all the work that you do.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much.
So the guest I'm having is Danielle Amos. She is a direct protege to Bob Proctor, who is recently passed away. So she's been instrumental in just my mentoring and mentorship. I believe in the law of attraction, and a lot has happened in the last year. And so every time I give her updates, she's like, "Oh my gosh, you've done a whole 360." So I do want to make that a part of this, and to really teach the leaders and equip them with tools. So I'm honored that she will consider being on this show.
Wonderful. And she's going to fly in
She's going to fly in, yes.
And tell us a little bit about who Bob Proctor is.
Bob Proctor was an amazing man. He worked with Earl Nightingale, and his teachings are phenomenal. It's all about mindset, and I use that in my day-to-day. My father committed suicide, so that was really a big impact on my family and myself. So I really had to get my mind right, and the tools that they equip you with, and have been really helpful. And I just want to bring that into, even for the children, they need to think about mindset, and the way you're thinking actually makes things happen, or you can actually make things happen good or bad. So,
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
And Chief, I have to get accustomed to
Yes.
calling you Chief. When we talk about the American Indians National, what is the reason that we now need a chief in this area?
I think it's important because we need order, and the only way to actually change a nation is with a strong leader. And I believe in having more than one leader to help us. It takes a tribe. So with that, we need guidance, we need health, we need a lot of things in place to make changes. And in order to make a difference in a nation, you have to feed them spiritually, mentally, and physically. So those are the things that we're going to integrate into what we do. And I try to make that a point in everything I do.
That's great. So how can you know if you're a part of your tribe or a tribe at all? And how many generations do we go back?
So we can go back 15 generations. I'm third generation. Yeah, and it's a lot.
I didn't know that.
A lady that met me the other day, she was like, "Oh my gosh, you look like one of us, like African American." So there's a lot of stereotypes attached to being
Yeah.
indigenous. And so we're going to have a lot of education. We need that. You can find out just by going to ancestry.com and just, having conversations with your elders, your family. My grandmother is 99 years old, and she has denied being Indian, and she's 100%. And she's 99. My mom is 66 and just found out that she's actually 50% Native
okay.
American. So
But
it's something that people don't want to talk about openly.
Right, 15 generations. That means that might include all of us.
That might include all of us.
Right. And there are so many benefits to
There
being
is.
a part of it. Can you tell us a few of the benefits?
Some of the benefits is that you're exempt, and it's a process, but you are entitled, and there's different things that we're going to be doing, which is building a school so that we can kind of have a hand in what our children are learning and being taught,
Right.
and just other benefits that we can go into, when we speak, when you have your appointment. There's a process to that.
Oh, okay. Wow, 15 generations.
15.
That is amazing.
Yes.
So I will definitely be calling you just to
Okay.
find out. Because I do know that my great-grandmother, was a Cherokee Indian. And so I don't know how I would fit into that.
Mm-hmm.
But any benefits to becoming who my ancestors really were is something that I would definitely be interested in.
Absolutely. And there's artifacts we want to get a hold of in museums, and knowing, when you see it in person, just your heritage, and that's enough in itself. A lot of people want to be recognized for the wrong reasons, but we really want to know our roots and who our people were. And so that would be one of the main reasons you would want to find out and start your journey to finding your lineage.
Right, right.
So
Now,
I'm
no-
excited to help you.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I'm excited to really find
Yes.
out and become a part if I'm supposed to be a part of it.
Yes.
What other projects? Like, I know that you work with the women veterans, and can you tell us some of the things that they need, and if there's a contact number, people can reach out to you?
Sure. So I work with the veterans, men and female. I help them to get clothing, natural necessities like shampoos, soaps, baby clothes, because some of the babies go in there and they're homeless veterans. For the men, basically male clothing, and they can reach us at info@americanindiannationals.org, and you can just fill out a form, and I know they would be grateful for anything that they would send.
Right. We had a young lady and her daughter who just donated 12 bags of clothes. I mean,
Yes.
very nice clothes as well. So I just want to say thank you to Renee and her daughter for delivering or donating those clothes, and we donated it to
Yes,
the women
and
veterans.
they're going to love them. I'm putting together a few more items with it, but I know they're going to love those.
Absolutely. And let's talk about your daughter being in our Full and Fabulous debutante ball. Tell us how
Absolutely.
you felt about that.
It was amazing, Jada. When I first connected her to you and Delisa is one of the assistants with Sharon Dumas, and The first time I brought her to bowling, she was just like in her phone and just very withdrawn. She didn't want to be a part. And I actually took a photo of that. And I was ashamed to show it because she was so antisocial. But the transformation of her has been astronomical. Like, she's more vocal with how she speaks. She's more expressive, and she does actually get up on Saturdays without me saying anything. It's like, Mom, I'm ready to go. And she waits for Delisa to come and pick her up. So it's been amazing to see the transformation in all the girls.
Right, but especially in her. I recall
Yes.
when I met her, and you had asked her about being in the program, and she was like, I was like, come on, you could do this. So she came,
She
and
did.
yeah, she has transformed.
Yes.
I mean, tell them about her room.
Her room has been one of the challenges to keep clean. And when she got her tiara and her trophy, that night actually, when we got home, we stayed in a hotel for the event. She was cleaning her room, and it's been clean ever since. So the tiara and the trophy has been something that she wants to keep nice. So she has to keep her room clean. So she's been keeping it pretty clean.
That is great.
Yes.
That is great.
And she's also come up with a business called Embrace Yourself. So I look forward to seeing her creation. She does sew. My best friend from High Designs, Tamley and Coleman, has taught her how to sew. So now I think that's what she's going to do with her business. I'm not sure yet. So I'm looking forward to that.
We're excited to see what's going to come out of it for sure.
Yes.
So when we talk about our community, what do you think you and the American Indian Nationals can do to assist in our community with all the issues that they have right now?
For one, I think not contributing to part of the problem and dividing. I believe in helping everyone and not just centering out certain groups. I believe that we unite together and just not contribute to being segregated or, only helping so many people, certain people. I feel like we need to be open to anyone who wants to serve or has a heart to serve and needs help.
Right. Mental health and the pandemic, there's a lot going on. I've never seen, we've never had so many shootings. There's been over 295, 300 shootings this year.
Yes, wow.
And we are starting to have them here in the city of Detroit. What do you think we can do to curb that type of thing?
I think creating awareness, I think a lot of it is stemming from people being desperate. The resources that used to be accessible are not accessible to the areas that need it the most. And so it's important that we, the people, get out there and actually get to the people that are in need, the people that don't have cars and do not have access to internet. So touching those groups in just making sure they have the basics would help a lot, I think, too, because when you get desperate, as a mom or just a single father or father, in head of the household, you might get desperate in trying to provide for your family. So I think if we come together and create like a resource area where they can come and get it, or we go to them, would help.
Right. Now, I wasn't sure if I could touch on this subject, but since you mentioned that your dad committed suicide, and you seem to be very calm. I've seen other people who have had family members to commit suicide that just couldn't focus and do anything other than think about that daily.
Yes.
What advice would you give to a person out there that has had someone in their family to commit suicide, if you don't mind me asking?
No. I took it, the first couple years was extremely hard for me, but it wasn't about me. I wanted to make sure that my dad had a legacy outside of the trauma and the stigma to suicide. And people don't realize that the families actually suffer a lot when they go. There's a lot of questions. So I didn't want it to be about him and that tragic situation. I wanted to flip it and bring out the positive out of it, and just supporting people. And for me, I had to dig deep on my own mental being. And so that's why I started to read and study mindset and do different things focused on self-healing and really digging deep into that. So it's huge. Even with pandemic, there's things that you can do to make yourself feel better, or surrounding yourself with a tribe that is for you is really important too, having the right circles.
Absolutely, because I know that there are a few grants out there for mental wellness because of the pandemic. And those are some of the things that we need to think about and that we need to share with other people who right now I like to say that life has the best of them instead of them having the best of life. So,
For sure.
yeah.
And it's a topic that people don't want to talk about. It's taboo. I know there was family members that didn't show up for my dad's funeral because it's a taboo thing, but I feel like we need to talk about it. It's a real issue, and it's starting very, very early. 5-year-olds contemplating suicide in African American men, like youth, thinking about that. So we need to have more and more of these conversations and get the PTSD trainings and coachings and just therapy. It's not bad. It's all on your preference, but know that if you need the help, just reach out.
Absolutely. You know, I spoke at a conference in Atlanta a couple of years ago, and they had someone there from Washington and the behavior health director. And she said that the number one age group right now for suicide is age 6, 7, and 8 years old.
Wow.
So you're absolutely right. How could a child that young feel like it's necessary to end their lives? I know bullying has a lot to do with it, but I found that to be totally amazing.
It is.
But I totally understand. You know, the girls are going through a trauma class now. Women and girls healing from childhood trauma. And your daughter, Jada, is going through it. And you were there at the first session. And what I appreciated about, I guess, talking about this type of thing with young people is that they were not afraid of the information.
No, they weren't. They were open.
Yeah, they were open, and then they were paying attention, and they were listening. So if we could make them peer counselors or, peer to peer so that they can talk to other young people. When my granddaughter was in school, she's 24 now, but when she was in school, she knew of someone who contemplated suicide. But because we talk about issues like that, she was able to talk to the young person. But, it's so important that we don't hide information from young people that they need to know today. Now, 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't necessary. But today, we have to make sure that we explain everything to them.
And equipping them with the information if it's not about them. The coaching session that we had, it was interesting because you and I had a lot to say. Like, we didn't even know we had some, we had some obvious traumas, but there was others that, it just was a part of our lives. We didn't really realize at that time it was actually dysfunctional.
Absolutely. And we can't be afraid of the information ourselves. It's almost like we don't want to hear it, or, they used to say, oh, just pray about it. No, we can't just pray about it anymore. We really have to seek the information that's going to make a difference in our lives and then expose that information to our young people.
Absolutely.
One of our young girls actually talked to the counselor privately and said that she recognized that she has traumas and that she wanted help with it. So, that's really what needs to happen. I know with our program, we always, we have once a month, we have a counselor to come in and talk to the girls. I mean, and we developed that through the pandemic. There was so much going on.
A lot.
So much anxiety going on, especially with our girls being plus size. They were number one on the list that could get COVID.
Exactly. Wow.
So, And so a lot of people in the family were afraid of them, kept them away from them, just a lot of things that was totally unnecessary. So we definitely have to really address those type of issues, and it's so important.
It is. It's very important.
Yeah. So I know that you have a lipstick line as well. We haven't talked about that. So tell us what color you have on, because it's beautiful. And then also tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. So right now I have Balm. It's a red. It's a power couple. Did I speak something?
Right.
It's a power color, and for business meetings and things like that, I usually wear red. It's vegan friendly, and it doesn't stink. Some lipsticks have a scent or a strong chemical smell. It's all vegan friendly. It's got like aloe and shea butters, and it smells really nice. And it's also a long lasting lipstick. So
it looks like it's smooth too.
It's very
goes
smooth.
on smooth.
It
some of
glides.
some of it is like flaky.
Yes, and it'll feel like you're drawing your lips with chalk.
Yes, some of them. I learned that that smell that you smell, those are insects. Insects are in the lipsticks that we use.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But I guess that won't harm us because they're trying to get us to eat insects now, right?
Okay.
That's supposed to be the next food.
That's another topic.
Yes. That's a whole nother topic right there.
Yes.
Can you give your contact information for us?
I sure can. You can reach me at info@americanindiannationals.org.
And is there a phone number or a website or anything?
Yes, that is the website, and the contact that in the email is info@americanindiannationals.org as well. So you can reach us through there.
And they can reach you for the lipstick, for the resources,
Yes.
for absolutely everything.
Absolutely everything. Even if you are ready to see if you have any Native American in your family, we would be happy to help you with that journey as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, Chief, can you tell us a little bit about your going to school to be an herbalist? Is that
Sure,
what it is?
yes. It was an interesting story. I won't get into that now, but going to school to be an herbalist, I've always tended to go through the medical background and wanting to learn. Science was my favorite subject. So just figuring out what made people tick was something that I was passionate about, and it made me curious. And so Dr. Coffee is my mentor, and I have about a year to go, but it's been at the right time because of COVID and everything like that. So I do have products that help with different ailments, immunity builders, and it's just something that I'm passionate about. And to go the natural way is good. It's just a lot of benefits.
Right. So do you have any of the herbs that you could really talk about and what it does?
So if you have Cascara sagrada, I do have an all-in-one that actually acts like a scrub brush for your intestines. Anytime you have sickness, it usually actually starts with the people that you're hanging around with, because they're toxic, or if they're negative, that starts to work on your spirit. So we say, look at your circle first and then eliminate that, and make your bowels move is the next step, because there's a lot of sickness in there. So we do have an all-in-one that actually would detox you and get you started on the right path. And then you have to replenish that with good foods and nutrients for your body.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I know Dr. Kofi, he's a very good friend of mine as well. And one of the things, I was having a problem with GERD, like acid reflux. And he told me to take, tell me what those things are, cloves.
Oh, yes, cloves.
To
Cloves
chew
is
on
good.
cloves. It removed it. It healed it. I don't have it anymore. Cloves.
Simple cloves.
Simple
and it
cloves. That's
helps
it.
remove parasites in your body, too. And it's just cloves. That's attached to a lot. So there's simple remedies that you can do. You just have to be open to. That's the other thing.
Absolutely. I'm open to it all because, whenever, however things go as we move forward in life, and with the gas going up so much, some of the trucks are not going to be going, and some of the medication you're not going to be able to get. So another one that, another idea he gave me or tip he gave me was oil of oregano. So I've been buying oil of oregano, $10, $15, $20 for little bottles. I made my own.
Yes.
I took olive oil and put the oregano in there and put it in a dark cupboard for about 3 weeks, and it's the same thing.
It is.
And oil of oregano helps with colds and bacteria, infections, and if you have a sore throat or you think you're coming down with even COVID, it can help move that mucus. So,
Yes. And it also has a shelf life of up to 6 years.
oh, okay.
So that's a good one, too. Yeah.
Right. So all I did was drained the oregano out of there and put it in my little bottles that I saved.
Yes.
And so,
That's
and it
perfect.
works. And so I have my family on it now, like 4 or 5 of them will call me and say, do you have any, you know, and let's see, something else that he gave me was, what's the stuff that, the seaweed that,
The sea moss.
sea moss.
Yes, the sea moss is popular. I actually make that for a few of my clients. It has 92 different minerals that we need in our body, and it's something quick that you can incorporate into your sauce or your smoothie, and I make it into a gel form for my clients. So the ones that are busy, they just contact me. I make it up for them, and it's great. You can just, I actually freeze it in your ice cube trays and then just pop one out and put it into a smoothie.
Oh, that's a great
So you
idea.
can keep it longer.
That's great. And another one people should take this tip is Himalayan salt. Now people use, what's the other salt?
The sea salt.
Sea salt. Himalayan salt has 92 minerals. Now for me, it takes longer to make it taste, you know, like you have salt in it. It's pink. The Himalayan salt is pink. 92 minerals. 92 minerals. So if you're drinking purified water and all those different waters, you're not getting any minerals. So it's so important to add minerals in a different way because lack of minerals cause disease.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
it's like important that we just sort of take some tips. And this is food. So whatever medication you're taking, this is food. So it's not going to bother you. So I had an accident. It's been a little while now. And so I use a walker. And it took me a long time to receive that here because I was a professional model at one time and all of that. But even though it's been a while, I don't have anything. I don't take medication every day. I take pain medication as needed. I do get inflammation, but I've been using turmeric with the black pepper.
Yes.
No inflammation. I've been using, I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have high cholesterol. I don't have any of those. I don't have anything.
That's
Thank
great.
God. Knock on glass. I don't have any of those things. But I believe it's because I'm using food to heal myself.
That's right. Yes.
So-
and a quick tip too is the Himalayan salt you can use as a detox. So
okay.
2 tablespoons in warm water, so 32 ounces of water, and you just drink it fast, and within 20 minutes you're going to be having movement in your body.
Right. What is the other thing that you soak your feet in?
The Epsom salt?
Epsom salt.
Yes.
Another laxative. 2 tablespoons in a glass of water. I know you soak your feet in it, but it's still good for you. And immediately it will detox you, especially if you eat a lot of meat. You don't want that meat to sit there 2 or 3 days and putrefy inside your stomach. So your stool should not smell really
They should not,
because you've moved that food out of there. So we're going to be closing in about a minute. What do you want to leave the audience with?
I just want to say to all the leaders and people that are out in the community doing work, keep going. Even though it doesn't feel like you might be going anywhere, you are making a difference. And sometimes you have to clap for yourself. And you will be rewarded. But it's, when you're having a servant's heart, it's not for the accolades or recognition. It's all about actually making a difference. And you make a difference. So if you can't do anything else, just be nice to someone. It doesn't cost anything. Just be nice and know that people go through different things. So don't take it to heart. So just keep doing what you're doing.
All right. And real quick, can you tell us who your first guest will be?
My first guest is going to be Vic. He's the owner of Venture X, and I can't wait to have him on here. He's been doing a lot and in secret or behind the scenes, so I want to bring some light to him and his business.
And he's downtown Detroit.
Yes, he's downtown Detroit, 220 West Congress, and it's Venture X.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and
Thank
welcome
you.
aboard,
Thank
young
you.
lady.
I'm so honored.
I am so proud of you. I am very proud of you. So thank you for accepting
Thank
to
you.
become our co-host for this show.
My pleasure.
So I am Sharon Dumas. You have been watching Expose Under the Sun, and you'll see Darwin next week. And the following week, Miss Chief Suzanne Jarrett.
Thank you.
Have a good week.